Hello. Good evening, Chwempala. My name is Elias Musha, and I'm coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, from the TV Bakwetu studios here. We were running into a few technical issues, and I think we are still experiencing some of them. But if you're getting the picture very well, that's okay. And if you're getting our voice and our audio very well, thank you for that. We have a very exciting program today, as usual. So please spread the word around. Let everybody know that TV Bakwetu is on and share this feed with as many people as possible. Thank you for joining us. From Chiwempala to the rest of the parts of Zambia and Africa, you are welcome to our feed today. Today, I'm going to bring Mr. Norman Chipakupaku later and our resident pharmacist, Mr. Jerome Kanika, at a later stage. But as you well know that I am NDC, so that is the political party to which I belong, the NDC. Every person in Zambia has the right and the liberty to belong to whichever political party they choose. And so for me, it is the NDC. And so Mr. Norman Chipakupaku, also known as General, he is member of the UPND, and so is Mr. Jerome Kanika. But here on TV Bakwetu, we pride ourselves to be a very straightforward talking group or panel. And so today, I want to just start this by explaining something in very clear and simple terms so that we can get to some agreement here. Now, those of you that are UPND, I want you to put aside your party membership. And then I want us to put several pieces of evidence together so that we together can arrive at a certain decision that is going to be helpful to our people. Today, we have been told that ECZ has decided to suspend the UPND in Kanyama because they are saying that the UPND was involved in the killing of 2 people in Kanyama. Now, I am not going to look at what ECZ considered in their decision to do so. I'm going to defer to their decision. What I want to do today is to try and piece the evidence that I have together and ask this question. Who was behind that violence upon which ECZ has decided to suspend the UPND? So I want us to work together here. Now, I'm not going to use very complicated rules of evidence or anything like that because this is not a court of law. And you don't expect me to come here and begin arguing like a lawyer because you don't like lawyers anyway. So forget about that. What I want to do is to use common sense from Chwempala, okay? I want to use common sense from Chwempala. That is it. Now, I am going to begin with a picture. Now, in order for me to do this, I will show you a picture of a person that they arrested, apparently. The police arrested someone in Lusaka who they are saying is a member of the UPND and is responsible for the violence in Kanyama. It is not me, okay? I want you to get this very well. It is not me. I am not the one who made these pictures. I am not the one who said what was said. All I am telling you is that the police arrested a person who they are saying is a UPND cadre who is responsible for the murders in Kanyama. Again, it is not me. It is the police. They even shared the pictures of this person. It is there on Facebook. You can see this person. So I am going to do something that we call screen share. So I have his picture. I use 2 screens here. So I do have his picture. And then I am going to use the picture so that you can see it. And then we are going to talk. So I'm going to click somewhere where it says share screen. Now, when you see I'm saying share screen here, you might find some things open here that do not concern you. Don't you know, because some of you are FBI investigators and things like that. Anyway, I've shared my screen. This is one of the people, actually the person that, it is not me again. the police is claiming is a UPND cadre, and this person they have arrested in connection with the violence in Kanyama. This picture is open source. It is there on Facebook. You can find it on various fora. They are saying that this gentleman is a member of the UPND who committed the murders. Now, you see, including Patriotic Front members, you do not need to be members of UPND or PF for you to just critically look at the evidence that is presented before you. This is the evidence that has been presented, that this gentleman in this picture is a member of the UPND. Now, walk with me. You see, when Kelenkas are trying to Kelenka you, they are always sloppy in the work that they do. They are sloppy in the sense that they try to Kelenka you and then they become sloppy and then you catch them. I have several questions. Number one, the fatigue that this gentleman is wearing, the clothes that this gentleman is wearing is green. Here is a challenge to any person listening to us today. You go and find me any cadre that is wearing, any UPND cadre that is wearing green. Now, this is not just the color green. If you can see it, according to what they are telling us, if you can see this, I'm going to enlarge it a little bit. This is not just that somebody is wearing anything that is green, okay? This is something that looks like a combat of some sort. Now, can you tell me anyone that is wearing this? Anyone that is wearing this among UPND cadres? Green is not a uniform that UPND cadres are wearing anywhere. They have never worn green. Never. There is no UPND cadre who is wearing anything resembling this particular color. Now, this is the gentleman that the police and several other people are saying is a UPND color. Look at the way it is. So this is the green. It appears like, a green jacket or military jacket of some sort. And then, nabagambi kapo UPND things. Na monefi gamba, mwaf monefi, nabagambi kapo some things. Again, we ask, common sense. This is therefore, just from the way it looks. Now, I'm not saying that is not a UPND card. I'm saying that using the very evidence that they are using, it brings several questions. Now, this gentleman, I know that we cannot tell from the way somebody is looking, because from the way he is looking, it appears like he's a very well-hardened criminal. If we were to take fingerprints of this gentleman, you are going to find him in the database, in the criminal database in our country. Now, if in the land, in this speculation, you also muntu, mwina chiwempala, or wherever he is, unga, because kubulama pieces wayabika pamo, wafuairisha wino wasango kwe, but there is something wrong here. Right? Kutu wabula, evidence, wabulo tumanani, as a chiwem, just using a mano yaku chiwempala nango kumirenge. This gentleman, if you are le moneka pamenso. Now, this is very unfair because ukumono umuntu atini criminal pamenso. It's a very dangerous way of reasoning. No, but therefore, naimwe, mumone fio wuntu nsefio, uwo toa kwata na common sense toa kwata. Musho yumwebo, ale moneka at muntu who just does politics. A common kada. If ale moneko you. If he pompwe fi, mlenje fi pompwe fi, fiaku panga fie, muntu fioli febonishanda tifi pompo nishi, it's dangerous because na ine na alikwata fi pompo nefi bala pamenso na alifikwata na imwebe ene mo alikwata fi ba uyu mulumen efu ale moneka fire moneko ko is a very well trained criminal. This is the picture that they are using to say that this is the UPND that was involved in the violence. They've also got what they're saying are the weapons that were caught with this gentleman. Among them was a panga and several other tuntutu akutumbuira kwemitima shabantu. And they are saying, on that evidence, they are saying that it is there for UPND. The people of Zambia, I'm not asking you to do very complicated things. I'm not saying this because at your and they support of Hichilema. No, in NDC, a party and NDC. Echo nde mwipushako mwebo chako bat namona abantu nga balela ndala na fyati bakapokola balanda fira moneka kona kalimwe fe balela ndawe fyachi ne twasumina chachi ne ba UPND bushoyu mulumendo oyu mwebo ale moneka nga UPND ifu afwere efifwala ma UPND cadres ifi ama UPND cadres bayisure chalo chonse mwali bamona bafwala efya red nangu nga bakufwala efimazilamba bafwala efimazilamba fya red ngo you criminal you kutafwala shani if you're green UPND members ayafwala if you're green if they were in a group ni group yama UPND cadres nshire fwala if you're green na shirera ndo kwe batirimbi indela ndesonta fe kuli evidence bale tupera bakapokola mwebo evidence batupere yuko but it's UPND nomba ngamwamona the way. Let me stop screen sharing here. Number ngamwamona the way it is working and the way things are going, the way the security wings react, speed at which at the UPND was too quick. When Patriotic Front cadres go and cause confusion kuchawama, vaiponona baleta confusion kuchawama, the police always take a long time okusonto munwe neryo mwishibo ko what these are PF cadres balakokola. This one happened within hours. The police establishment was there telling us what is the UPND that is responsible for the violence in Kanyama. Again, common sense fear ya tueva ukova there is something sinister about this. Patriotic Front, let me remind you of something that happened in 2011. The Patriotic Front itself, in 2011, it was being accused of violence. As a matter of fact, even the close associates of President Michael Sata were arrested by the police in 2011 for lies that the Patriotic Front was violent. And we all knew that the people that were violent were the ruling MMD cadres from the same place, from City Market and from Intercity. MMD cadres, they were causing confusion all over the city of Lusaka in 2011. And guess who the police arrested? They arrested Patriotic Front. Such that even after Michael Sata won, they had to take time in order to bring out the innocent Patriotic Front cadres. They are being violent. The same kind of lies that were happening in 2011 is the same thing that is happening today. There is no difference. Except that here now it is a little bit more sophisticated because they are even manufacturing false evidence. I don't know who this gentleman is, but from a few things that I've explained to you here, I doubt whether this guy is UPND. And I am challenging the police in Zambia to give us evidence that this gentleman is a member of the UPND. And if this gentleman is not a member of the UPND, here is a question. How come the police acted so quickly to tell us that it is UPND? I'm not saying anything about how the ECZ has reacted because maybe now bakwatabe evidence, but the evidence tuamona tuasanga mobufi. This is not right. Please let us not repeat the same lies of 2011 in 2021. Let us not do that. Antonio Mwanza told us, announced to the people of Zambia that the UPND was training 60,000 militias. 60,000 militias is almost the size of our entire Zambia national defense, if not more, by far. Teine. It's Antonio Mwanza who said it. Are these the people he was referring to? Are these the kind of people that he was referring to? Just a few months ago, we were told that the president has this liberty to give leave to hardened criminals. Are these the criminals that have unleashed to the people of Zambia? Is this what is happening here? We are not saying that President Lungu cannot win this election. He can win. He is a very formidable candidate. In fact, extremely formidable. And I'm appealing to the UPND, muichefye sana. Lungu remains a credible candidate politically. But as NDC, in Efyondeland, I'm extremely neutral here. Let this election be fair, completely fair, and absolutely fair. And if President wins a fair election, we will be the first ones to congratulate him. I will be the first one to congratulate him. I know that members of the UPND like General Mlimi wakakokola. Number, if this election is fair, to apenda wino at lungu na wina, we'll be the first one to tell you, the people of Zambia. But it cannot be through this kind of trickery and lies and manipulation. It can't be. We can't tolerate it. If this is an election, let people vote. That's it. Lekeni ukutitikisha abantu mwachita release ama criminals vaya ipaya abantu elo mwaya ikata ba UPND na tumfuati mule ikatafie ngafira fine chali mu 2011. It had to take sato kuino kuyafumia ama PF cadres. Nambobo wafe wako but yabe nabali violent during the MMD. They just changed camps. They became PF and they became much more violent. This is what we are seeing today. Now, there are some people who are saying that there are two sides to the violence in Zambia. There are no two sides to the violence in Zambia. You know that, and I know it. There is only one side. It is on the side of the Patriotic Front. They are the ones that have Kamgodi. They are the ones that have the hardened cadres in Chawama. They are the ones that have... And you know it. And you know it. And so the question that we have is, we need clear action against this violence. That's what we were calling for earlier on TV Bakwedo. We were asking, can the president act, first of all, to restrain his own cadres? They call themselves commanders. We have seen them. Right at the PF Secretariat, it happened. There are no two sides to the violence. The people that are making weapons of anything else, it's not the UPND, it's not the opposition. You know this very well. Now, on the basis of this criminal, I don't know who he is. On the basis of the evidence that is coming from this criminal, they have now said that they are going to send soldiers on the streets of Lusaka. I think God loves Zambia. Because when I look at these people, I think there is a clique of well-sponsored criminals that they wanted to use them. But it has not worked as well. And so because it has not worked as well, we are remaining with these kind of lies. I think in the next coming days, there's going to be tremendous peace in Zambia. This is going to be a peaceful election. It's not going to be a violent election. These sporadic flashes of violence here have been rejected by all peace-loving Zambians. They've said no to this violence. It's not going to work. The only thing that is remaining is for our people to vote on August 12. That's it. On that note, I need to bring in my co-presenter and co-host, General Chipakopako. I had to go on a solo rant because I didn't want you to say that we are saying this because it's UPND. No, I wanted to come on as an independent NDC member in order to show our people this evidence. General.
Good evening, Chiwempala. Good evening, Petaoke Central. Good evening, Kaoma. Good evening, Sirenje, Kaputa, Mazabuka, Katete, and good evening to our people in Ndola today. And good afternoon, Musha. How are you doing? It's evening in Scotland.
No, I'm very passionate today because I'm trying to say that I don't like people that I don't like injustice.
Munsha, I can't blame you. You've started with a big rant. You've taken the steam from me. What you've said is right. There are too many questions to ask about what happened at Kanyama. Too many things, too many questions. And the truth is that Mr. Lungu is scared. Mr. Lungu is very, very scared. 10 days to go. He's very, very scared. And we are going to see a lot of tricks in the next 10 days. The only thing that is that Zambians be assured that all the tricks which Mr. Lungu has in his trick bag, some of them we know them. They are coming out. The people he's working with are telling us what these tricks are. One of those tricks is violence. To try and create more violence, then take the army out to intimidate our people. But Zambians will never be intimidated. So I can't blame you, Musha, for opening up with a big, we have 10 days to go. These are the most important 10 days in the history of Zambia. I've seen elections in Zambia. I saw the biggest election in 1991. I've never seen so much tension in the country. I haven't felt so much tension in the country. Everybody, whether the villager, whether it's in the police, whether it's in the army, whether it's in the OP, whether there's tension in the country, and everybody can feel it. And I can say one thing to Zambians: you are the bosses. ECZ can do whatever they want. You are the bosses, Zambians. You carry that card and the NRC card and voters. You are the bosses. Kanganja can rant and huff and puff. You are the bosses, Zambians. Mr. Lungu can do all the tricks he wants. You are the bosses. What I can only ask for you Zambians for, keep your eyes and ears open in the next 10 days. The truth is, Mr. Lungu and the PF are so scared. Don't be scared, Mr. Lungu. You're a Zambian. You'll not be the first one to lose elections. Mr. Kaunda lost elections. I was there. He died in Zambia. So Arabi lost elections. He didn't die. He's there. He's still alive. So PF, I'm seeing statements coming from Mr. Sikazwe, the smiling Sikazwe, Kandolo Sikazwe, saying that when HH wins elections, if he wins as an MP, he's going to resign. Mr. Sikazwe, friend of, you won't win Mpolungu. You won't win it. So whether you like it or not, HH is winning. And let me clear this one off my chest. PF, why are you scared of being arrested? What have you done? Musha, why? There's a saying in English, only the afraid, only the guilty are afraid. What are you afraid of? Over to you, Musha.
I don't see that there will be a wholesale arrest of PF people after President Hakainde Hichilema wins. I don't see it. I think this is going to be a very sober win. If at all Mr. Hichilema is the one who wins this election, it's going to be heavy. It's a very heavy win. It's a heavy in the sense that the kind of responsibility that are going to be on his shoulders are huge. And so I don't see him just going up and about arresting every Jim and Jack. If you are a Jim and Jack in PF, there is nothing to worry, my dear. Just join NDC. Join NDC. Just join NDC. That's it. But I don't see that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema will go on a wholesale arrest of everybody. I don't think so. I think what he's going to concentrate on is to steer this ship back to course. That is what I see. I see him ensuring that there is justice. I see him ensuring that we stop this Congo Latwive. I see him controlling how government contracts are awarded. I see him stopping this insatiable appetite for Kalova and introducing fiscal discipline. That is what I see doing. I don't think there will be like everybody who was PF being arrested or anything like that. No,
Musha,
I don't see it.
They are scared because they arrested HH 15 times. They are scared because they locked him up for almost 3 months. And they are very, very scared. And they think that HH is as cruel as they are. He's not. And, you know, Mandela was locked up for 27 years. He came out, he didn't lock up all the Vosters and everybody else. And having locked up HH on a fake treason charge, having detained him many times, having threatened his life in Dola and many other places, it doesn't mean Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is as cruel as some of the PF people. He's not.
Right.
So please, there's no need for Mr. Lungu and these people to be so desperate that they can now fly airplanes at night to try and do tricks which they think we don't know. We know. So just take it easy. Nobody's going to. If you have not committed any crime, you won't be arrested.
Yeah.
If you're not committed any crime, you will not be arrested. But doesn't mean that if you have committed a crime, if you have committed a crime, it's not the HH to arrest you. It's the law which will follow you.
The law. Now,
it's not HH. It's the law which is going to follow. If you committed crime, if you smuggled our mukula without papers to China and the evidence is there, then you will go to court, not through HH. It's the police, the same police which is protecting Mr. Lungu today will be the first people to say we've got a crime here.
Right.
So they shouldn't fear. If you're nobody in PF who's just singing Alebera Pupampando, you have not committed any crime, my dear brother and sister, we will look after you. UPND will look after you because you are entitled to a good peace in Zambia. You are entitled to good economy. You are entitled to a lot of good things.
And so, General, and so Chala Pualalaka, several PF cadres will suddenly be available. So they be able to join the NDC.
No, they can join an NDC, but if you're a bad one, don't come to UPND because we will know you.
So if we're NDC, we welcome poor PF people.
NDC, you can receive all the innocent Kalimanchis of the commandos of this world. You can receive all the Kaiser Zulus if you want them. They will not come to UPND. You can have all the Kambas of this world. You can have all these noisy fellows. You can even have your president back. He was in Kasama today, still saying nonsense. You can have him back if you want, Musha. So I think that's enough of that rant. Your rant and my rant, I think we made it very, very clear. Do not be afraid, Zambians. But take your card and use it. Mr. Lungu has got guns and got tear gas, has got everything. You have got your voter's card. That's the most powerful weapon you have. Mr. Lungu can fly at night. He can fly all the aeroplanes at night. He thinks we don't know. We know. Your vote is
General,
is the weapon.
We need to dispel some fake news, right? Now, this is my position. I know it might be different from yours, General. I have several concerns about how ECZ is conducting itself. I do. However, I do not believe that this election will be determined by ECZ. It will be determined by the people of Zambia in 10 days. Therefore, I'm trying to help our people to stop spreading a lot of false news of anything. Please stop it. The very fact that that extra cargo was found in that airplane is evidence that our system of checks and balancing is working. So we commend the people that were vigilant and they caught that extra cargo. There are several explanations for that cargo. Our system worked. That is what democracy is. And so what we want to see is continue remaining vigilant, but this election is going to be decided on election day. Show up big, show up in good numbers, and carry the day for the candidate that we have endorsed. However, do not listen to the lies that this election has already been rigged in favor of President Lungu. you Patriotic Front cadres, lekeni mipande kwa mano. If there is anyone who is telling you kwati Lungu na chitakale, atina bombira pokali hapa na chitakale rig, it's a lie. If you want to prove me, stay home, okay? Imweba PF, just stay home on election. The mwika ya kwaini. Bantu, you are believing anyone who is coming to you by Patriotic Front. Okay, but this election has already been decided. Lueno. Mamfwa. Let me agree with you. Our church in Lungu na chitakale rigaine. Stay home. Don't go vote on election day. Mamfwa, Patriotic Front cadres. Once mwewe supporta Lungu mwika ya kwaini. Kainge na aba mubepo ko bati Lungu kale awina. Mamona bofi. This election is on August 12th. And not even UPND. Do not believe this lie. No one can perpetrate a wide scale fraud on the Zambian election. It's very difficult. And so remain calm, remain vigilant, continue advocating, continue looking very closely, and show up on election day. You are going to make this election fraud proof. Okay. In fact, it will be Lungu that will come back crying. Mukamona on the 12th. Mukamone fikala chitika. Ba Lungu eba katampo kuliroko that this election has been and it has been stolen from him. So do not believe all these things. They are trying, but all their plans are failing. Let me tell you, the registration of voters, when you look at it critically, they tried. They failed because ultimate differences between AMA voters, they became very statistically negligible. They thought that they were going to do a widespread rigging of electoral electors. And they did. But when the numbers were given, very small changes. They thought that they were going to punish the South. They thought that they will punish the Western province or the Northwestern province. What has happened? It's still competitive at the same place. So everything that they are trying to do to manipulate, it's not working. Not even the use of security wings. It will not work. Once it is very clear on election day, Twaumfo from Unchanga, Twaumfo from Munali, Twaumfo from all these urban constituencies, once it becomes clear that Lungu has lost, the security wings will change and begin helping him. Because they need to go there and take it easy, you know. Tabafuiro kuya mukumushani na pala penati wamona walusa. Komuzembere kakopanono. No bakateka na mwishiwa tafiri buino. And then you throw a tantrum shani na ba Davis Wheeler throwing tantrums. We have lawyers, we have everything until at a later time fiafine but to acknowledge. Because it will be a very serious loss. And then he will go like, I put all the systems in place. No, all those systems, because the people of Zambia woke up very early, lined up, and voted. General.
Musha, I totally agree with you. I wish I could have the optimism which you have. But what we are seeing is that ECU, not ECU. Why am I used to ECU? Eastern Province Cooperative Union. No, it's ECZ. ECZ is trying, they tried to work with PF to try and rig, as you have said, from all the stages. And even up to now, Zambians do not believe that Mr. Lungu just give in and say, that's it. Mr. Lungu is trying to use all the tricks. First of all, ask yourselves, what are those phones for? What were they for? Those phones for?
Imwatini company ba pangire fe mistake, but very salonga kumona ma ballot papers, you know.
Those phones, what were they for? Who ordered them? And why the mistake with the ballot papers now? The truth is, he is trying. Those phones, we know the person who ordered them, and they were ordered for a specific purpose. Unfortunately, Mr. Lungu, God works miracles. He revealed all the things we were trying to do. And they are still working on with ECZ. Right away, Zambians, be told, that the polling staff, most of them are teachers recruited by Minister of Education and the Minister of Religious Affairs. We've got names of civil servants who were wearing PF campaign materials 2 weeks ago. These are the same people who are going to be your polling staff. So let's not cheat ourselves to say Mr. Lungu is not trying to cheat. These polling staff who are civil servants, Musha, it's just a pity that I can share my screen now and show some of the civil servants in PF gear in Kabwe. One of them is working for Minister of Religious Affairs. She has been given a polling staff. She's going to Lundazi. They are moving them to different parts of the countries where they're not recognized. Somebody's moved from Kabwe, from Dola, to go and be a polling assistant in Lundazi. Why? They don't want to stamp the polling station, the stamps. They want to tell people what to do with the voting. We don't know what else they've been told to do. So I will not give ECZ 100%. ECZ, Zambians, and PF and the police are part of the rigging strategy. Don't just take it for face value. The truth is ECZ, police are up to no good. You had your rant, Munsha. You had your rant. Let me have my rant as well. ECZ and the police are working with PF. Full stop. Over to you, Munsha.
Now, then why are we having this election? If you are telling General, no. If you are telling people that ECZ, police, and PF have already done it, then why are we going to this election?
I'm not saying they've already done it. I'm saying they are trying to cheat. But I still agree with you that the Zambian people can stop this cheating by going to vote in high numbers. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to scare people. A lot of our people already here. This evening, I'm just getting messages. There are soldiers patrolling Simpson building area, the whole of that area. There are people, soldiers. What do you think the ordinary Zambians think when they hear that soldiers are patrolling? They'll be afraid of going to vote on Thursday next week. So I'm not saying they've already done it.
And that's exactly what I was telling you earlier about getting soldiers out of the barracks. I knew that it's going to create all this thing of wrong impressions. But anyway, they've only released a few, so that's okay. They've released a few. The thing is, Zambians should show up on election day and vote. What I don't want to see is this double messaging, General, where we are saying that ECZ has already rigged, or ECZ is going to rig this election. It's going to depress our people showing up to vote.
Musha, I'm not saying ECZ is rigged. I'm saying ECZ is trying to rig. That's why you've got those telephones coming in, Musha. That's why you've got airplanes flying at night. That's why you've got all these, they are trying. But the only people who can stop them, I agree with you, is that Zambians must go and vote in big numbers. Because the higher the turnout, the less the rigging. But if they don't go and vote, these people are capable of doing anything.
Right. No, that I agree. And they've been exposed, and our system is working. And what has been working so far will continue to work until election day. That is what I think. And I know you can disagree with me, but I think that all these little things that we've been putting in place and exposing, they are working. That is what democracy is. And let us continue putting more faith and optimism in those people that are actually making all this work. Some were saying the political parties have not done enough because of those that extra equipment, and they shouldn't. But they discovered it. These opposition observers, they discovered it. That's a huge thing. You need to put to pack them on pat them on their backs for the job well done. They were alert, they were awake, and they caught extra cargo on that plane. What I am saying is our system, let's continue watching closely. This system is working. This election is going to be peaceful, and let's go and vote on August 12th. As many people as possible together Zambia is going to do just fine.
The question, Musha, is what are they going to do with those funds? The more they remain in the hands of ECZ, the more they'll be released at night without us asking. Without Zambians knowing what's happening. For me, I would rather take those things and take the journalists from all and ban them. Because the more they remain in the hands of ECZ, I'm sorry, I don't trust Shindanu. I don't trust Judge Chul myself. I really
But he's
don't.
the one who is going to pronounce Mr. Hakainde Hichilema president.
Well, if he can ban those things and then announce that there was no cheating, that's fine. I'm fine. But what I'm saying is that me personally, I don't trust Shindano. I don't trust Jajulu. Because all the evidence which is adding up from the registration to the voters' cards, now to this the phones, it's adding up to the same evidence. That even now the banning of UPND from campaigning in Kanyama, the banning of HH from flying, is all adding up to the same thing.
Very sad. It's shameful. Yeah, it is shameful. It's extremely shameful. I'm ashamed that they can't allow Mr. Hichilema to go to Luapula. Area of Webene to lefwa ya HHS at yom kwa tetaye ku Luapula. Chabulanda. It's extremely embarrassing. Yeah. It's extremely embarrassing.
So it's sad, Musha, because it looks like Mr. Lung and his PF have no respect for the will of the people. Because as a democracy, we should give the people this final decision. We know that he has got 500 votes which he has already claimed as one way. Mr. Lungu, keep those votes, keep them aside. Because if you're keeping them in your state house or somewhere else or in the barrack somewhere, keep those 500 votes. Don't bring them into the system. Let the Zambian people decide. If they vote for you, fine, we'll respect you. But don't bring 500 votes which we don't know where they're coming.
Our resident pharmacist today is hot.
Yeah, actually, actually today I'm very much upset with what ECZ has done to the Kanyama campaigns. They know very well that Kanyama has about 177,000 voters there, and is the highest among all the constituencies. Then they go and suspend us. Anyway, we don't mind them, but we are going to campaign through our alliance partners. It's UPND they suspended, but we have alliance partners there who need to go now. We campaign in the name of the alliance partners. So work done by ECZ is something we can say zero. I wish they did more and thorough investigation over the matter. As you can see, we have also said to say one of the people who died is our member. And not only that, PF went on and destroyed all our offices in Kanyama constituency. But they have said nothing about that. The other day we were talking about PF fighting each other and causing serious mayhem in Chawama. But they have not suspended the PF for causing mayhem in Chawama. So somehow, somewhere, ECZ is not doing things that are supposed to be done. Coming back, you see, one thing I feel also to understand is the confidence PF is trying to portray that they have enough support from Copperbelt and Lusaka. Look, these two provinces, it's very difficult for them to say that they have much support due to the bad economic policies that they have pushed through. And if PF has some support, for me, I feel they can claim some support from Southern Province. But Copperbelt, no. Lusaka, I don't think so. You are going to see what will happen to the election the votes that will come from Copperbelt and Lusaka, as compared to even Southern Province. Maybe Southern Province PF is going to get more votes as compared to Copperbelt and Lusaka. Well, on the other hand, they have brought in Chimbakambwi to talk again evil about the people of Southern Province. Now I'm worried where they are going to get the votes. because they were supposed to get more votes from Southern Province, but they cannot get the votes. The reason is simple. Chimbakambwiri every day, wherever he goes on the media, on the what he insults people of Southern Province, instead of respecting them and appreciating what they are doing to help the people, this country, Zambia. And he thinks like, because in Copper Belt, people speak the street Bemba, he thinks like all the people in the Copper Belt, they are the supporters of PF. And he thinks like people in Lusaka, they speak the street Nyanja, they think like all the people in Lusaka, they support PF. No, that's very wrong. These are cosmopolitan provinces, and these, they depend more on the dollar, on how the economy is being run, and they also depend on the issues of employment. Come to Copper Belt, the level of unemployment is very huge. Lusaka is very huge. As I'm speaking today, we have seen a memo where ZCCMIH has released the money to say we are going to pay people in Mupan the money or whatever the money which they are owed, starting on Friday. Who does that? Where has the money come from all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And they are saying on Friday we'll keep you, we'll pay you. Then some will pay you in October and some will pay you in December. Where has the money all of a sudden to pay the people in Mupani come? So these are the challenges. These are the things that we are talking about. And they know very well that the think tanks of this country are in Copper Belt and Lusaka. And the people who analyze the economy very well are in Copper Belt and Lusaka. Well, them, they are behaving like Copper Belt and Lusaka, they are just jelabos. No, that's not true.
Yeah, no, that's agreeable. So we have about 9 minutes. So what we are going to do, and to
Musha,
open it up to,
before we move on, I'm just getting information from the UPND team. That young man is called Konkiri. That is his nickname. He's a UPND member.
Which one?
The photograph we displayed is
Okay,
a confirmed UPND member.
Okay, is Konkiri?
Yeah, well, that's his nickname. I will have to get his full names, but they say his nickname is Konkiri, and that guy was actually attacked in Matero last week and arrested by the police in Matero, and he is a member of UPND. Okay. He looks like a criminal. Probably the police scared him. Who took that picture? We don't know. So we don't know. But they've confirmed that that boy is a UPND member.
All right. Now they caught him with all those weapons.
Well, I cannot confirm. The police should confirm that. But they are saying he is a member of UPND, and he was not in Kanyama on that day. He was in Matero. So those weapons, they don't know. According to the information that I'm getting now, they don't know where those weapons are from. And I think I would have loved to bring in Gilbert Lisaniso to confirm that. But unfortunately, I can't. I wish I could get him on, because that guy, that young man is confirmed. Yes, it's confirmed he's a UPND member.
Yeah, General, just to come in, you see, this is how a political party is supposed to be. In time of trouble and in time of whatever, the political party which you belong to should be able to accept you as their member. Here, UPND has mentioned to say, yes, this is our member, but did he commit that crime? That's another question that we need to ask the police and the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The information that I've also received is the gentleman was in Matelo. That day he was not near Kanyama. That's the information which we have been given. But to hear that he is the one who went to kill another a PF and another UPND member, that's something questionable. But anyway, we need to wait for the investigations on what's supposed to be.
Yeah, but what really upsets me, sorry, go ahead, Jeremy, go ahead.
PF would have denied to say, no, this is not our member and whatever thing which is happening. But as you have seen to say, as UPND, we don't abandon our people. We always stick to them. And the Zambians will never abandon them once President Hakainde Hichilema is given the mandate next week. That shows how much love the UPND has for the people of Zambia. Will not abandon anyone, but will be able to provide for everyone.
I have the picture of the gentleman. I have a picture of the gentleman at a PF rally. He left the PF and joined UPND.
No, he has been a UPND member for a long time. He's never been PF.
No, General. He was a PF member at one time.
Okay.
Then he joined UPND. He was a PF member at one time. Then he joined UPND.
Okay, I don't have those details, but I'm told he is definitely a member of UPND. And what I'm really surprised, Musha, is that one is innocent until proven guilty. This young man, if he is involved, he has to go to court before they charge you, they call him guilty. It's like they're sentencing him and they're already claiming that he's guilty before he even goes to court. And they're punishing UPND even before they have evidence that UPND was involved. And that is what is very, very funny about how ECZ operates. It's like this statement by the Deputy Inspector General and the spokesperson of the police. It's like they made their conclusion. They became the police and they also became the court, the jury and the judge at the same time, which is not fair. Over to you.
Right. Okay, thank you. Now, let me try
to call her. I talked to her. He's saying what she's going to say.
Oh, can you please mute yourself if you are coming to join us?
Wiseman, are you talking to us? Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what we'll do. General, we've got to cut this broadcast and restart another broadcast. Can you just hold on, because we are trying to catch the broadcast with as short as possible so that people can use them easily. Right now, we can't have our collaborators use our broadcast because they are saying that it's difficult for them to track where to cut the chunks that they need. And so we are going to come back shortly.
Are we using the same link, Musha?
We're going to use a different link.
Okay, we are going to use a different link. That's fine. Okay.
Shortly, in about 5 minutes. But Grant Zimba, in about 5 minutes. I know that we're going to lose several people that are following us, but we've got to do this.
Can you kindly send the link so that we will be able to join?
Yes, I'll post it right on our Facebook page.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not on Facebook. I'm following you from YouTube.
Yes, we'll send the yeah. So all it will do is it will show that another broadcast has started.
Okay.
So can we give clear instructions to our viewers who are currently viewing us now? You can follow us in the next 5 minutes. We're continuing this discussion. In the next 5 minutes, the link will be posted on the Facebook page by Musha. Over to you, Musha.
Yes, thank you. Good night, and we'll see you shortly.